Hi to every third graders, how are you? Okay, now we are keeping on working with chemical equations, chemical reactions, and now I'm giving the instructions for the next two. You have this week, the whole week, to send me, and there are just two equations based on the list of equations I gave the other day. Something new for you, please don't try exercise R because it's a bit difficult, okay? And now, remember, what's about the chemical equation in which you have in part B, okay? You have in part U and in part B, you have the two chemical equations. And now, the questions are from 49 grams of H2SO4. I asked for writing down the chemical equation to practice a bit about nomenclature. So please try both equations and remember to write down below each compound the molar masses. I mean, when you got this, based on the atomic masses, where are hydrogen 1, sulfur 32, oxygen 16, hydrogen 127. Write down below each one. Imagine you have just 1 mole, 98 grains. In this case, 128 grains. And then below each one, you have to write down the datum. In this case, 49 grams of H2SO4 and questions below each one. And then you are working with direct proportions, right? And the questions are very easy because from 49 grams of H2SO4, you have in the sheet of paper given away to your Google Classrooms count. So the mass of iodine, the number of moles of water, the mass of water obtained from 140 grams of hydrochloric acid, the mass of water. Okay, and the same with part B, in which you have iodic acid with hydrochloric acid to obtain hydrogen and water. In this case, don't forget to balance the chemical equation by the system of equations method, taking into account atomic masses, which are hydrogen 1, hydrogen 127, oxygen 16. And the question is this: okay, forget it. We have 44 grams of iodic acid. Calculate the number of moles of water obtained, the number of moles of iodine. Remember, this is a diatomic molecule, so it always takes two atoms, like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, don't forget it. So, number of moles of water, number of moles of iodine, mass of water obtained, and mass of hydrochloric acid needed. And now we are answering some questions some of you asked for by the mail because you have several doubts about how to solve different equations. So pay attention to me, okay? I'm doing, okay, in case you have any doubt, I'm doing exercise, the first one of the last sheet of paper, and here you have the answers, okay? They say nitrogen reacts with hydrogen, and you have to translate. You have to say, okay, nitrogen reacts with hydrogen and it yields ammonia. Okay, we are remembering the method of the system of equations. Remember, you have to add the uh, letters A, B, C, and D. And now we are giving some values to them, and you have to take into account something. You have to count number of atoms of nitrogen, and you have two atoms in 1 mole of molecules because A, B, and C represent the number of moles or the number of molecules. In this case, since we are working with grams, it gives the number of moles of molecules. So we have two moles of atoms of nitrogen multiplied by the total number of moles of molecules, so 2 times A. Here you don't have any nitrogen, and it equals, the arrow is translated as an equal, and you have 1 atom in 1 molecule of ammonia, so 1 moles of atoms of nitrogen inside C moles of molecules of ammonia. C times 1 is C. Hydrogen, you have to count hydrogen. What happens? It doesn't appear in nitrogen, it only appears in the hydrogen molecule, and you have to count what happens. 2 atoms inside 1 molecule, 2 moles of atoms inside V molecules of hydrogen. 2 times V equals what happens here with hydrogen. You have 3 times in C molecules. So 3 times 3 moles of atoms in C moles of molecules of ammonia. So 3C. We take the reference as A equals 2 all the times, okay? Because we have to keep a number of whose minimum value is 2, different from 1, and based on this value, you have to obtain the other ones, the B and the C. So 2 times A, 2 times 2 equals C. So C equals 4. And now what happens with B? 2 times B equals 3 times C, which are 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. B equals 12 divided by 2, which is 6. And now you have to substitute, okay? Because in the other exercises I sent you now, you have to calculate in the second one by the system of equations method. So you have to continue with this method, okay? It's very easy. You can do it both ways, but I want you to try working with the methods of equations, system of equations. And now you have to substitute A by 2, B by 6, and C by 4. Of course, if they are odd numbers or if they are even numbers, you can do different things. If they are odd numbers, you can't simplify. But when they are even numbers, you can simplify, dividing by the lower. 3 and 2. And that's it. Another questions. They say, okay, from 17 grams of N2. Now, they say to you that the atomic masses are nitrogen, and you have to take into account nitrogen. What happens with nitrogen? And you know is 14, and hydrogen is 1. Okay? And what I told you before to do in each compound, you have to substitute below each compound the number, okay, the number of the grams, the mass of each one. You have 1 mole of nitrogen reacts with 3 moles of hydrogen and it yields 2 moles of ammonia. 1 mole of molecules of nitrogen reacts with 3 moles of molecules of hydrogen and yields 2 moles of molecules of ammonia, right? We don't add the word molecules because for sure we're working with molecules. You can say directly 1 mole of nitrogen reacts with 3 moles of hydrogen and it yields 2 moles of ammonia directly. And now, molar masses. La masa de un mol, la masa molar que se dice en español. Si tengo uno, le pongo uno. Si tengo un número, el que sea, multiplico el número de veces la masa de un mol, que es la masa molar, ¿de acuerdo? De tal manera que os va a quedar 2 por 14, 28. 3 veces 2 por 1, 2, que son 6 gramos. 2 veces lo que salga de hacer, atento a esto, ya lo hicisteis, alguno lo hizo mal en la tabla de los moles, 14 más 3 por 1. 3 por 1, 3. Acuérdate el orden. The order of equations. Firstly, multiplication, then addition. 3 times 1, 3, 3 plus 14, 17. 2 times 17 equals 34 grams. They are theoretical masses. And now you have to add the datum. The datum is 17 grams. 17 grams below nitrogen because this is the question. And now the different questions are from these 17 grams, calculate the mass of ammonia. Mass. Calculate from this number of grams the moles of ammonia. Moles. From this quantity, no, from 78 grams of ammonia, in this case, no, of nitrogen, sorry, you have to calculate the number of moles of H2 needed. Okay, so again, 68 grams of nitrogen, and you have to calculate number of moles of, you can work with reactants or with products. Okay, from 20 grams. You know the theory. And you have to calculate the grams of ammonia. So, from 28 grams, everybody knows that there are 34 grams, no? So you can say 28 grams of ammonia. And it yields 34 grams of NH3. And now, instead of 28, you have 17 grams, X grams. Okay, it's a direct proportion. Then you have to solve, and you obtain a conversion factor. X equals 17 grams of N2. You have to write down all the times the compound you're working with, okay? And now 28 grains of N2 and add 34 grains of NH3. And you will obtain the result. And the result is 20.64. Just two decimals. And now they say, okay, from the same amount of mass of nitrogen, calculate the number of moles. We can pass directly these grains to moles, working with. We can say, down, you have to write down the mass, 34. Remember, this 34 grains belongs to 2 moles. 2 moles of ammonia, 34 grains of ammonia, cross out both units, and you'll obtain the amount 1.21. 1.21 moles of ammonia. And now, from 68 grains, the same, but now you have to know the number of moles. The first thing you can do is calculating the number of grains and then the number of moles. Why? Because you need to know the number of moles. And you have from 28 grains of N2, there are 6 grains needed. 6 grains of H2. If with very big quantity, in this case you are working with 68 grains of N2, you will need X grams of H2. So X equals 68 grams of N2 multiplied by 6 grams of H2 divided by 28 grams of N2. Cross out both unit, and this is the way to control that you are doing well. And now, when you are doing this, okay, you'll obtain the result. Okay, you will obtain the result. And the result is 68 multiplied by 6 divided by 28, and you'll obtain 14.57 grams. And now you have to calculate with the number of moles. 3 moles has a mass of 6 grams. So 6 grams are the same as 3 moles. You want to write down 1 mole and 2 grams, the same because it's a proportion, okay? So multiply by 3 divided by 6 and you'll obtain 7.29. 7.29 moles of, and you write down H2, moles of H2. Okay, so I guess this is important for you and maybe it will be helpful as well. Okay, so you have any doubt, please let me know by the mail. Okay, see you.